So, unfortunately, Tony Ferguson lost again last weekend, and he's put out a statement saying he's not going to be retiring. Which I think at this point, we all know Tony Ferguson. I don't think he's going to retire off a loss. I feel like his mindset being so old school that he wants to go out on a win. I feel like we're not going to see a Tony Ferguson retirement until he gets another win. So I call this Operation Get Tony Ferguson a win so he can finally fucking retire. Because as a Tony fan, it's been a rough few years to watch this man lose again and again and again. It just isn't nice. This guy was on a 12 fight winning streak at one point. There were talks of this guy being the kryptonite to Habib Nurmagomedov. And now I'm worried about him fucking fighting these like layup matchups I'm thinking about giving him. Like it's gotten to that point. Like I'm worried about him versus like anyone on the roster. Like it's gotten bad as a Tony Ferguson fan. Let's just say that. So I'm going to start with a few matchups where I think Tony Ferguson could actually win these fights. I'm not super confident at this point in time though, because Tony Ferguson, worries me a little bit. But just going through the roster, looking at who there is in the lightweight division for him, there is some people I think he can beat. Like I don't think he's completely. I hope not. I hope he can't just lose to anybody now. But maybe he does. Maybe he proves me wrong. But I'm going to start with the first fighter, which is Victor Martinez. Victor Martinez. I mean, the guy literally got fucking knocked out on the feet by Jordan Levitt. Not with the grappling. Didn't get TKO'd on the ground. No, he got KO'd on the feet by Jordan Levitt. Jordan Levitt's a good fighter, but he is by any means, not a striker. Like, he just isn't a striker. Like, if you're getting finished on the feet by Jordan Levitt, that's not a good look. I'm pretty sure Victor Martinez is a striker as well. Like, all of his finishes are by strikes, no real submission wins. Yeah, no, so he seems to be more of a striker. I think this is a good matchup for Tony Ferguson. If you're getting chinned by Jordan Levitt throws punches like a cat. Like, that's the best way I can. Like, he literally is like a male cat fighter. Like, you see two girls fighting, like fucking cat fight. That is Jordan Levitt throwing punches. He punches like a chick. Like, not like a woman's mixed martial artist either. He punches he jabs at you. When he jabs at you, he's like pouring at you. It's like like that sort of shit. Like he doesn't have any fucking oomph on his punches. He went in there. I mean, he did use his knees, but still, he went in there and finished Martinez and knocked him out. Like that. That's just not a good look. Like there should never be a point in your life if you're in a fight or you're a professional fighter where you're getting finished on the feet by Jordan Levitt. I get it. He's a mixed martial artist, but so are you, Victor Martinez. You're out there knocking people out, and then you're going out and getting fucking knocked out by this guy. Like, nah, you're fucking not. There's no way you'd beat Tony Ferguson at this point. Like, surely fucking not. Surely Tony would be able to beat this guy. Like, come on. No way someone who got chinned by fucking Jordan Levitt is beating Tony Ferguson. Maybe it could happen, wouldn't surprise me, but Tony Ferguson, he had a more competitive fight, I guess you could say, with Paddy Pimblett than Jordan Levitt did. So maybe there, levels to this. Like, think about it. There is levels. Like, Victor Martinez, he's at the bottom level. Then moving on, we have Jesse Butler. This guy's already been chinned by an old man. But, I'd say at this point in his career, Jim Miller isn't a better run. He's in better form than Tony Ferguson at this point. But, you could argue maybe it's just because Jim Miller's fought a lower level of competition. Jim Miller hasn't really been fighting like the greats, like Tony Ferguson's been. Like Tony Ferguson, the beginning of his losing streak was Gaethje, Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler, Beneil Dariush. He lost to Nate Diaz, which wasn't a great look because Nate Diaz looked fucking old as shit. But also lost to Bobby Green and Paddy Pimblett. So at this point, like I say, Jim Miller's like wins aren't the greatest recently, and he did lose to Alexander Hernandez. He does have a fight with Gabriel Benitez coming up soon, but I think Jesse Butler is like fucking not very good. Like Jim Miller somehow developed like KO power at this point in his career, but he literally got dusted up in 23 seconds by like a fucking 40-year-old Jim Miller. Like I don't know that even though Jim Miller's looking good lately, 23 seconds. I get it was short notice, but to get fucking dusted up that quickly is like a I don't know. I don't rate that. He's been chinned before in his career. I think this is the fight where Tony Ferguson might be able to go out there and chin him. If I'm being honest, like maybe Tony Ferguson comes out there, just lands a hell of an uppercut, goes out there aggressive, knocks him out. Like this is a fight where I could see him winning. I don't rate Jesse Butler at all, and it's not like he's a super young guy himself. He's 31, obviously still much younger than Tony Ferguson, but like I feel like that is a winnable fight for Tony Ferguson. But I'd still be worried at this point. Like I generally would be. I just need to see Tony win a fight before I can like ever be confident on him winning again. I feel like once he gets a win, I feel like his confidence will just go instantly back up because it's fucking Tony Ferguson. I'm not saying that means he'll go on and win a bunch of fights or anything like that, but I feel like if you want to fight against some bum or something, I feel like we would have seen him like have a little resurgence. Maybe not like go on and beat all these people he lost to, but I feel like he'd have a better showing. I feel like a lot of his problems is he's just not very confident in his fights either. But he also does like athletically look a lot worse. But anyway, I got my last pick for a fighter that I think Tony Ferguson can beat. And, you know, when you've probably seen the title, it's probably the first guy you thought of. Anshul Jubli. Now, I don't actually think Anshul Jubli skill-wise is very bad. Like, I actually think skill-wise, Anshul Jubli is actually a good fighter. But I just don't think he has the heart or cardio. Like, he was beating Mike Breeden very easily. But Mike Breeden started to bark at him. And, like that sort of just, like, completely fucking made him lose all confidence. Like, I don't know, it was a weird thing. Like, literally fucking all he did was bark. Just constantly barking and pressuring. Just gassed out Ansel Jubilee and then he broke him. Like, Mike Breeden's not good at all. Mike Breeden is literal trash. He would have been on this... okay, I shouldn't say literal trash. You know, he's got good boxing, but he's not very durable. And he was losing 2 rounds to Ansel Jubilee. And he's been cut from the UFC because he missed weight by a shit ton as well for that Ansel Jubilee fight. I would have had Mike Breeden on this list, but obviously he has been cut. But I think Tony Ferguson could break Ansel Jubilee. Maybe he could just go in there and take him down. But he couldn't take down Mike Breeden. And Mike Breeden's been taken down in other fights. So maybe Tony Ferguson would actually be able to stay on the feet here and just put on the pressure. Like, this is the best fight I can think of for Tony Ferguson at this point, especially seeing that Ansel Jubilee has gas before. Like, I generally, this would have to be it. This would have to be the fight that gets Tony Ferguson a win. But anyway, these are the 3 fights I could think of. You know, I'm sure there's other people Tony could win, but I'm not really confident. Like, Muhammad Yahya actually has good cardio, so maybe Yahya would beat him. Alex Reyes, you know, he's coming off a bunch of losses. Well, not just a bunch of losses. He's on a big layoff and then came back and got KO'd. So maybe Tony Ferguson could beat Alex Reyes as well. But like the fact that I'm having to look at the complete bottom of the division to find Tony Ferguson a win is crazy. I never thought 3 years ago I'd be doing this. You know, it just is crazy how quickly careers can change in mixed martial arts. But yeah, anyway, that's all I've got to say about who I'm going to use to try and get Tony Ferguson a win. So yeah, thanks for watching this video. Make sure you give us a like. Let me know who would you guys put in there for Tony Ferguson to get a win. Who is in the UFC currently? Obviously, I'd bring in fucking Mike Jackson. I feel like Tony Ferguson could fucking be as washed as fuck and still go in there and chin Mike Jackson. You know, CM Punk, all them sorts of guys. But obviously, these are just fighters in the UFC. Unfortunate for Tony Ferguson, he's still in the UFC, so he has to fight these tough fucking guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's rough. It's rough for Tony. Where is Tony even on the lightweight rankings? He's 33. That is crazy to see. Seeing Tony Ferguson behind Joe Solecki and Mark Madsen on the lightweight rankings is fucking nuts to me. I didn't think I would ever see that. But anyway, thank you for watching. Make sure you give this video a like. Like I said previously, let me know the fighters you think he could be. Maybe Rick Glenn as well. Rick Glenn's probably a winnable one. He's older. He's looking pretty fucking geriatric. He's been brutally KO'd twice in his last 2 fights. So I feel like there is a few fights we could give Tony Ferguson and he wouldn't look out of place, like, picking him there, but still. Anyway, make sure you subscribe, put on the notifications. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.